And as the old adage goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's one of the most common things we said any day in the military. And this administration has failed to plan in almost every situation it's encountered, from Afghanistan to Ukraine. Hey everybody, I hope that you all had a great week. Now I'm here with an update on what's gone on in Washington, D.C. this week. First up, the supply chain crisis. Now, for almost a year, Americans have struggled to get the goods that they need for their families. There's been major shortages on everything from washing machines to baby formula, and the Biden administration has failed to take meaningful action to fix the supply chain and get things moving again for all of us. Now, even though there are clear steps that they could take right now to eliminate burdensome regulations on truckers, as an example, who are responsible for moving our goods from A to B, the administration, they haven't done it. And we're talking about things that may not even cost $1 to accomplish. Now, this week in the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, we had a hearing. We had Secretary of Transportation Buttigieg. He even admitted something to me while he was testifying, that he agreed with me on something that I was proposing, where there are certain regulations that could be waived to help out our supply chain. And here's the clip. Let's make it permanent and extend those protocols to truckers that are carrying anything, right? They shouldn't have to go through the red tape of determining whether they're carrying Frosted Flakes or laundry detergent or Clorox wipes or baby clothes or whatever. If it's not a safety threat, as we've determined it's not, to give them those 10 hours, you get 10 hours of rest. It's not a safety threat. Let's let them not have to waiver this.
But I do think, it is reasonable to say that any time, even if it arises out of an emergency, we gather data from some kind of flexibility being introduced. We should learn from that and include that in our decision-making for the future.
So why haven't they done it? The American people need relief right now. They don't need more studies right now. That's why I introduced this week 5 bills to cut through the red tape and help more truckers get on the road, move more goods at a cheaper and a faster rate. That's what we call productivity. It's what we should strive for. And some of the bills that I introduced this week are this: repealing the diesel tax, the 24 cents per gallon diesel tax, getting rid of the chassis tax, the tax on big rigs, so we can get more trucks on the road, repealing regulations on the length and the weight of trucks so that they can carry more goods and be more productive with one trip, allowing drivers to do their jobs by changing the hours of service requirement to match what were the requirements for COVID-19, which were much more flexible than what many truckers fall under right now. These are common sense proposals that I hope can get bipartisan support, so I'm going to keep you updated on every bit of that. Also this week, I had another frustrating exchange in the House Foreign Affairs Committee in a hearing with the Department of Commerce official. Now, he was unable to tell me what requirements Russia would need to meet before the United States would resume commerce. In your role, with exports being your lane for the administration, has President Biden spoke with you about what would be minimum requirements that we would demand out of Russia to resume exports or commerce with them? And I'll give you some specific examples that I thought up. Number one, has he expressed that Russia would have to be out of Ukraine in order to resume exports?
I have not talked to the president, and I'm not aware of any discussions that we're having with Russia about what it would take.
Now, Secretary Estevez is the Undersecretary for Industry and Security. He's tasked with overseeing our nation's exports and ensuring that they don't fall into the wrong hands. So he would presumably have a large role in any discussions that President Biden is having about resuming trade with Russia at any time for any reason. But he specifically said he had no idea and hadn't spoken with President Biden about this at all. Now, unfortunately, I'm not surprised by that, and that's the unfortunate part. He didn't know of any conversations like that taking place. No one is setting parameters or standards that Russia has to meet in order to have sanctions lifted. This is a common thread with the Biden administration. There is no strategic objective with the actions that they're taking. There is no off-ramp. There is no plan. There are no tactics. They undertake actions that don't actually result in making the United States of America and Americans stronger and in a better place. And as the old adage goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It's one of the most common things we said any day in the military. And this administration has failed to plan in almost every situation it's encountered, from Afghanistan to Ukraine. And unfortunately, the things that they are planning are hurting us in our wallets and every other place, like trying to mandate that every single one of you have to switch to an electric vehicle or utilize the energy that they want you to use, i.e. the root of the inflation that we are witnessing here in our country. Now, finally, if you're watching this over the weekend, you have just 2 days left to share your opinion with the Coast Guard about the St. Lucie River Railroad Bridge. If you're concerned about how these regulations that the Coast Guard will put in place, no matter what, one way or another, they're going to make a regulation whether you participated in it or not. So I hope you participate and help the regulation be what you want. It's going to impact boating access in our community. It's going to impact home values. It's going to impact quality of life. You can use the QR code on the screen, or you can go to mast.house.gov/public comment and tell the Coast Guard how you believe that that bridge should be operated. In my opinion, it should be operated to give boaters, local boaters, the most possible access, not a train that's running from miles away, doesn't even stop in our community. Let them close off our waterway. Not on my watch. That's not the way that it should work. It's a middle finger to our community, and in my opinion, we all need to stand against it with every fiber of our being. So, in that, as always, it is an honor to represent you, and I hope that I see you all around town this weekend. I hope that you all take care. Y'all have a good one. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.